Alright guys, brand new Diablo 4 update just came out and you're going to see me opening up the brand new treasure bags from the Goblins. These are new special event bags that you can get. And let's see what's inside first. I'll show you guys all of the other rewards and I'm going to be straight up completely honest. I want to say that this is very underwhelming. When I open up these treasure bags, I was expecting to see something good. It just seems like it's just like a random set of loot over here. But I did open up another one later in the video, and I did get a Ancestral Unique. Is that something to get super excited about? Well, I mean, it just seems like it's just random loot. It doesn't seem like it's anything super special, but there are more things to consume than just those Goblin treasure packs. But I wanted to open up the video with that to be completely transparent. That's essentially what the new event is for the anniversary that is kind of different here. The rest of the stuff, well, let's go ahead and hop into that. So starting right off, this is the Diablo anniversary event. I was really excited to hop on, but that is one of the newer things that you're going to be getting. Now there are other patch notes that we do need to take into consideration because we are getting some other buff. Now this was tweeted out recently by Adam Fletcher and they said that they're doing some investigation on our stingy gobos. So some of the items we'll be addressing and some more items to buff up. So yeah, I would say they definitely need to be buffing those up, as again, getting just random 925 items isn't anything super exciting. Even if I was getting more legendaries, well, that could be good for someone super casual, maybe at the very start of the season. Pretty much for the most part, most people aren't going to get excited unless it's specifically a greater affix. But on top of that, they actually mentioned that the Mother's Blessing XP is actually started right now. So if I go over here to the very beginning, you'll see that there are these two buffs right above our bar for our level. We get more experience and they're mentioning that there's more goblins, but I didn't really notice that there's like more goblins or that they're spawning in packs, because when they released the like official announcement of this, they were showing 4 goblins just sitting right next to each other. And I don't know if this is some sort of patch that they do need to update, but they are updating the game with another patch called 1.4.2, which is going to be coming out next week, and it's going to be a change on the XP and gold. So right now you get 35% bonus XP and 35% gold for a few days. Then it's going to switch to 25% XP and 50% gold, which again, I don't really get why they're doing it that way. But a lot of people were originally thinking that the buff for the Mother's Blessing was going to come out next week, but perhaps maybe it kind of just came out early or glitched. I don't know. Either way, that's the numbers that we are getting here. And another thing to mention with these anniversary event items here, you have to actually claim the gift. So if you guys are playing the game, you will have to go ahead and go into the shop, and you're going to have to actually go to the shop. You click on the thing and then you claim it. It is free, but it's probably their way of us looking at the shop. But you just complete the purchase. It is free, so they didn't like lie or anything like that. You don't have to make any purchases. It is actually free. But the thing that I'm actually more interested in is these other game updates, and these are going to be coming later over here. So anyways, at least as far as I'm aware of, these didn't change because there's actually a buff to the Grandfather and a buff to essentially the materials required to get the Uber Uniques, and there is a Uber Unique buff for one of the items. So starting right off, the Stygian Stone drop rate in the pit. So right here, it shows that if you are doing tier 1, you have a 5% chance, and if you're doing tier 40, you have a 10% chance, and then tier 100, you have an 18. Realistically, I don't think anyone's doing 200 unless it's some sort of crazy glitch that we are unaware of. But yeah, you have about a 30% chance to get one. And so that's actually not too bad over here. But most people will probably just do like 100s. And I'm sure that in between there are probably other numbers. I don't know if that's specifically from 40 to 99, if that's all 10%. We don't have info on that. It's just, I'm sure it tries to line it up. That's my guess. But anyways, they've also made some adjustments in the pit, so this is actually quite nice. They adjusted the damage of boss powers and boss affixes to be more in line with the difficulty of the dungeon leading up to the fight. So my guess is the bosses will be a little bit less challenging, but the smaller monsters and elites will be a little bit harder. So I think that that is good, because it kind of seems like you can run through the pit, but then you get to the boss, and the boss is just, it's got way too much HP at the end of the day. And some of the bosses, if you get unlucky, it can be quite difficult. But Tomb Lord, the Bone Wall boss affix, now starts appearing from Pit Tier 1, which I guess if you kill it with the Holy Bolt Elixir, great. They also slightly reduce the ability cooldown, which could be a nerf or a buff, depending on the way that you look at it, because if you destroy it, you can get some more damage. And then the Blood Bishop Triple Shadow Line boss affix now starts appearing at Pit Tier 31, so I guess they're modifying it. Then they said that they moderately increased the cooldown, so overall that should be making things easier over here. And then on top of that, there's a bunch of bug fixes that probably don't really matter too much for the most part, but this is what I actually care about. There is a change over here. It says on these unique affixes, the Scoundrels Kiss, the X% attack speed for 4 seconds after dodging an attack. So over here, they fixed an issue where certain affixes were scaling in unintended ways. So I don't know necessarily if there's going to be a buff or nerf. I know the Grandfather is getting a buff here. So anyways, it just says that it's some sort of change. Is this a buff or nerf? You guys can let me know. It says duration wasn't meant to scale, but incorrectly scaled with the upgrade through masterworking. Any changes beyond that will be listed below. So my guess is that when you are masterworking the item, it's giving you some incorrect value. Maybe it's too little, maybe it was too much. Again, I don't know. Like for Fist of Fate, like no one's playing these for the most part. And then like this, I don't think that this is something that people really are playing anyways. But Scoundrels Kiss, this actually does matter, but it's after dodging an attack. Now, the important thing with Grandfather over here, it says it ignores durability loss. The affix can no longer roll as a greater affix or be upgraded via masterworking. So this is actually something that is quite important if anyone is out there trying to get that. So when you have the Grandfather, it can roll with this greater affix of the ignore durability loss, which doesn't really matter. It's a kind of a worthless stat, to be honest. But because it doesn't roll, that actually makes it better because you cannot accidentally mastercraft onto that to get the bonus, nor can you roll the greater affix. So what's going to happen with this? This is actually pretty cool. So for the Grandfather, specifically any existing Grandfathers that had a greater affix or masterworking roll consumed by the indestructible affix will be re-rolled. So if you guys have a Grandfather that may be a greater affix, but like it doesn't even show that something got boosted, it actually will be changed. So don't salvage it, just wait, and you will get some sort of reroll on it. Maybe if you went to 12 out of 12, or again, if it rolled with, let's say, a greater affix, you could have a Grandfather that has 2 greater affixes, and it's going to reroll on that one. We'll have to wait and see exactly what happens with that, if it's just going to just randomize it. That's my guess over here. And then they change some sort of like older legacy affixes where you get some sort of like damage after dodging an attack, but that's like the most important issue over here. And then I guess Barbarian couldn't craft some sort of like gurgling heads. It's like a whatever thing, doesn't really matter too much. There's no date on this patch, but this is another update that will be coming out. So overall, this is going to be a win here because we are going to be able to get more Stygian Stone, so that does mean more Ubers. But I'm curious to know, how do you guys feel about this event right now? Specifically, again, it was like these like little like Goblin chests that I was really excited about, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see what's in these. And to open up these chests, or these little treasure bags that you get, I did get one that had a ancestral dagger in it, but is that like really that exciting? I think what would have been better, and this is just like my quick little like suggestion here, and you guys can let me know your feedback, because I'm going to try to send this into Blizzard, because it's a pretty easy thing to maybe adjust perhaps. It's just guarantee greater affixes out of these like little loot bags, because getting a legendary at this point in the game is not going to make people super excited. I'm glad that we're getting a free event and there's free cosmetics for everyone to earn, but at the end of the day, as far as like the gameplay part, XP, you know, that's great. But again, we're here to actually collect the loot, and having this new loot like bag, it doesn't drop anything new. Maybe if there's a small chance for maybe just a shard to drop off of it, that would be exciting, or specifically have a small chance for maybe even Uber Uniques to appear out of that, or again, just guarantee at least one greater affix item. It doesn't have to be like a triple one, just at least one piece of gear with a greater affix, and don't drop yellows. I mean, for the anniversary like event to have like random yellow items that aren't even 925, which could be a bug, they kind of tweeted out about that, or just something to incentivize us to play a little bit more versus like, oh, it's just like a random legendary, because legendaries, most people aren't going to be too excited about. But anyways, that's my personal thoughts. You guys can let me know yours down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, want to be up to date, make sure you sub if you're new here, turn the bell on, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, and have fun playing the event. Honestly, well, we'll have to wait and see if it gets buffed.